Back here at the Ralston Arena, VFC 41 continues with our co-main event of the evening. Anthony Smith, Lionheart Smith, making his way into the VFC steel to face UFC veteran Josh the Dentist Neer. Inside the cage, Mr. Mike Kendall with our official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the co-main event of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the VFC middleweight division and is brought to you by Werner Cycle Works. Introducing first, fighting out of the Fire Barn red corner. He stands 5'11", weighed in at 174 pounds, holding a professional MMA record of 33 wins, 13 losses, and 1 draw. Training out of Round Kick Gym from Des Moines, Iowa, Josh the Dentist Neer. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Werner Cycle Works blue corner, stands 6'4", weighed in at 176 pounds, holding a professional MMA record of 17 wins, 9 losses. Training out of Premier Combat Center from Omaha, Nebraska, Anthony the Lionheart Smith. Your referee in charge of the actions, Dave Jobin.
Dave Jobin getting set to oversee this battle between Josh the Dentist Neer, Anthony the Lionheart Smith, alongside Joe the Nose Wilk. I'm Matt Kelly. Joe, this one should be a good one.
Great front kick right off the bat. You know, no glove touch here. It's not necessary. That we found out last night at the weigh-ins, these two have no love lost. We got a good fight on our hands. A young, hungry UFC vet versus the ultimate UFC vet, a guy with 60-some fights, Josh Neer. Anthony Smith came up watching Josh Neer. It's almost a guarantee, and now here he is, standing face-to-face with him in the cage.
Absolutely. That's one thing that Anthony Smith said in his pre-fight interview, the little preview video that we did, was that, you know, he's a guy that he used to look up to in Josh Neer. Now when he gets in the cage, that door closes, and he looks across the cage, he's no longer looking up to a guy like Josh Neer. He said now people are looking up to him, and this would go a long way towards cementing him as a young up-and-comer in Anthony Smith if you were to be able to get the victory over the UFC veteran Josh Neer. And Smith so far putting some knees through to the midsection of Neer.
Smith is really landing some good knees and controlling the range in that clinch. Josh Neer is a wily veteran. You can bet he is here for this fight and he's here for the long haul. Everybody knows about Josh Neer. You're going to be in for a fight. Now, Anthony Smith is young and talented. Does he have what it takes to beat a veteran like Josh Neer? I'm glad we're finding out here at Victory Fighting Championships.
Well, Anthony Smith is a maybe 2, 3, 4-time Strikeforce vet, a 1-time UFC veteran. Josh Neer goes for the throw, and Anthony Smith just a little too big for Josh Neer right there. But Anthony Smith certainly wants to let it be known that he is at this level, and he would love a shot at getting back to the UFC, and a win over Josh Neer would certainly help. But Josh
Good elbows. Neer's landing. You know, Smith seems like, I thought he was hurt, but I think he's actually just walking right through it. He was just taking him. We got ourselves a heck of a fight right now. These guys are not going to back down from each other. Smith is not intimidated by Neer, and you can bet that Neer is not intimidated by anybody.
I was over at Josh Neer's house over in Des Moines, Iowa about a month and a half ago to do the preview piece, and he was working out in his small garage. His car's not parked in his garage. It is his gym. And
Smith is covering. I don't know what's going on here. If he hurt his eye, if he's just being, that was funny, but you know what? He's got Smith cornered, and Smith's starting to open up. Smith has got to be careful here, Matt, and because Neer loves this kind of a fight.
Yeah, Anthony's covering up for some reason, and doesn't look like he's feeling all that great.
Good knee. Yeah, you know, I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't want to say he's rope-a-doping because you don't see that in MMA with 4-ounce gloves, but he seems like, I thought he was hurt, but he might just be baiting Neer. He might
Neer
just
wants
be
it.
His guy.
Neer
and
wants
they're
it.
talking. Neer's talking.
Oh, boy. Not good for Anthony Smith.
No, Smith's taking good shots. Neer's all over him right now. Smith's
Boy, I don't know. It's hard to tell what's going on with Anthony Smith, but
here he goes, and another big knee. Now Smith comes back. and now he covers up again. We got, this is kind of a bizarre fight. This could be strategy. Smith could be hurt. We're not sure. We're not the ones that are in there doing it, but it's a heck of a fight right now, and Neer is landing.
Yeah.
He is landing.
Neer is getting through, and not just with the punches, but the elbows, the short elbows from short range. And huge bombs coming from Neer, and Neer's talking to him in the corner.
Oh, they're talking. Yeah, they're talking.
Anthony's talking as well.
Hey, we got ourselves a fight, man. Hey, it's not volleyball. They'll be nice to each other afterwards, but they're talking.
They're carrying on a conversation, it looks like, as we're into the final minute. Interesting.
Yeah, they could.
Weird fight.
Yeah, they might be exchanging email addresses, for all we know. It could be malicious, or they, just could be buddies in there. They're just here for work. It's a job like any other job, and both of these guys going to work with the elbows. I'm telling you though, Matt, that Neer right now looks like he is in his element.
Absolutely. Do you think there's any part of Josh Neer that wants to take Anthony to the second round and maybe, not come in here and, I don't know, give him a chance almost? I mean, I don't know. It's weird to say, but I think I think it looks to me like Neer wants to see if he can make the young Lionheart quit. And we'll see what happens with Anthony here. It's been a weird first round. A very bizarre first round, but a very active one and a good one. I'm going to give it to Neer. I can't wait for the second round. And we'll see what happens with 2 and 3. Very weird first round here. Josh Neer, Anthony Smith. Talking as they're walking away is Josh Neer. See what happens here with Anthony Smith and Josh Neer. Josh Neer still talking. We'll be back with second round action between Josh Neer and Anthony Smith. You're watching Victory Fighting Championship 41. Back here at a sold-out Ralston Arena, VFC 41 continues. Anthony Smith, Josh Neer. Very odd first round between Neer and Smith. Dave Jobin getting set to start round 2, but not until both fighters are in their corner, and here we go.
These guys just want to get at it. They're both upset with the referee, and weirdly enough, we have a glove tap at the beginning of the second round. These guys are trying to kill each other. They're talking to each other during the fight. The banter back and forth, which I'm sure is trash talk, but here they come out in the second round. Goes back to what we were talking about early in the card. There's still respect there. A head kick from Smith. Smith is landing now.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the break, Joe, was Smith getting in Josh Neer's head by letting him kind of say, hey, I'm taking the best shots you can give me, and I'm here for round 2, and let's go?
Yeah, absolutely. Or is Neer getting in his head by being the wily veteran? Oh, he goes for the arm. He goes for the arm. He might have this.
Smith.
He might have this.
Anthony Smith might have this in deep. It looks like Josh Neer is wincing.
Anthony Smith is a very underrated grappler. I've actually trained with him and been on the mat with him. He is a very underrated grappler. He is super talented, and he has Neer right now in a bad spot with this Kimura. If he's able to secure this and put his hand behind his back, this could be it right here, Matt.
Maybe that's exactly what Anthony Smith was wanting to do, is get Josh Neer in close enough that he could take it to him. Anthony Smith trying to finish with the Kimura. Josh Neer waves off Dave Jobin.
Yeah, of course Josh Neer, with 1,000 fights, is composed under here enough to continue a conversation with the referee like nothing's going on.
Waved him off.
You gotta love this guy, man, and it looks like he's starting to get out of this. Anthony's staying on it. He's got a good grip here.
And this could be a situation, Joe, if Neer is able to get out of this, taking Anthony Smith's best shot to date and saying, hey, I'm out. And Anthony lets it go. So Josh Neer, great Kimura defense right there, and Anthony Smith gave it all he had. At some point, we talked about it in our last broadcast, at some point you have to let it go, right?
Absolutely. I am the king of hanging on to submissions too long in MMA. And you know what the whole thing is? These guys want to finish. Anthony Smith wants that finish. It's hard to bail on that. In a realistic situation, what he just did was intelligent. He didn't waste his energy on a move that he had lost. And now we got Neer looking for a guillotine. Neer is tricky on the ground as well. Going to be hard to finish from half guard, though. Anthony's composed.
So a first round that was just really, really odd turns into a second round that has found both guys in a dominant position for a little bit. And Josh Neer tried to sink it in there, but nothing doing. Anthony Smith on his back. Josh Neer starting to drop some elbows and
Josh Neer is just such a veteran. You know, elbows, Matt, they're hard to train. You can't really just elbow everyone's face off in the gym. Too many stitches, too many injuries. So your practice comes from fighting. And Josh Neer has 60-some fights. He has a lot of practice with elbows. Right now he's controlling this fight, controlling the range. And again, they're talking.
Well, I want to know what the conversation is going on here. And I'll tell you one thing, Anthony Smith is showing that he can take a lot of abuse.
Oh, absolutely.
Josh Neer's been all over him in the first round for sure, and right now here in the second.
Big shots from Neer. You know, Smith really needs to do something here. You cannot just continue to take these shots from a guy like Neer.
Anthony Smith up against the fence, Dave Jobin. Again, it looks like Anthony is just kind of...
Yeah, he seems almost, I would call it, lackadaisical in there. And here we are in a huge fight. How talented is this kid that he's lackadaisical, but he's in this fight with a very, very, very wily veteran.
Final 60 seconds again. It's almost like round number one where, you know, it's almost like Neer is going to maybe let Anthony go to the third round. Maybe he just wants to punish him.
You know,
Anthony.
I think that, Matt, we're just so used to people. We've given Josh Neer a lot of credit for composure.
Here come the elbows.
Big elbows. We're giving Neer a ton of credit for composure, but perhaps we're underestimating Anthony Smith's composure. He maybe is just not getting hurt by these strikes because he looks like he doesn't care. He doesn't mind. He's not falling up or freaking out. He's just taking whatever Neer brings at him. I hope it goes to a third. I really want to see what's going to happen if it does.
Final 20 seconds, a big up kick from Anthony Smith.
15 seconds, Anthony.
Josh Neer.
15 seconds. Let's go. No, 15 seconds. Let's go.
Final 10 seconds. Anthony just trying to hold on to get to a third round against Josh Neer. A big-time UFC veteran is making his first appearance in the victory cage since 2004. Josh and Anthony talking it up at the end of round two. Round three coming up next. This is Victory Fighting Championship 41. Back here at a sold-out Ralston Arena, Omaha, Nebraska. VFC 41 continues the third of 3 rounds in this professional fight between Josh the Dentist Neer off to the left, Anthony Smith off to the right. Dave Jobin starts our third and final round.
Here we go. Round 3. I'm going to give the first 2 to Neer, and Anthony Smith, he's got me baffled right now because I'm not sure. Neer doesn't want none of the hand tap. I'm not sure what Anthony Smith's game plan is here because he seems semi-lackadaisical, but he's still in this fight. And at any time, he can land a big shot.
He just shook off his right hand. I think Anthony Smith might have broken his hand.
You know, and
honestly, he shook it off right after that punch.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. He's throwing an elbow.
And he's holding that right arm back.
And that could have been what happened in the first round when we were trying to figure
right
out
there,
what happened. Hey, now he's switching. Look, he's switching to a southpaw stance and trying to get more power with his left hand. I think
if
Anthony
you notice
Smith,
with Anthony, he's throwing that right elbow instead of the fist.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we're getting word that he did break his right hand.
And I'll tell you this. If I'm Anthony Smith, I'm not shaking my hand in front of Josh Neer. Josh Neer knows this now. Josh Neer has enough experience that he knows that he can walk into this battle right now, this stand-up battle, and not worry about a big power right hand. That's a huge advantage for Neer. More shots from Neer. He just is outworking Anthony Smith right now, but he doesn't seem to be able to hurt him.
Do you think Anthony was telling him in the first round that he broke his hand? I mean, is that something that, Neer's like, hey, what happened? I think I broke my hand. Let's still get after it.
I can't wait to find out. That very well could be it, is that during the trash talk back and forth, Smith might have been like, well, hey, I broke my hand, and who knows? I'll tell you this, I'm too busy fighting in there to do much talking. I do all my talking beforehand, and right now announcing. Oh, and Anthony's got the leg lace here, and he looks like he can go for a heel hook, which he's kind of doing right now, but again, not much conviction here, Mac. He seems so relaxed.
I mean, I've seen fighters talk a little bit before, but I don't know that I've seen fighters
have a full conversation.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing.
I like it. They're probably exchanging recipes. Like, what do you have on Pinterest, Anthony Smith? And they're in there just brawling, getting after it. And And you know what? I'll tell you this. I know Josh Neer. I've been lucky enough to train with both of these guys. Josh Neer wants to finish Anthony Smith.
Yeah, and
he's got 2.5 minutes to do it. And Anthony either needs to force a scramble and make something happen here, or he is just going to continue to take shots from Josh the Dentist.
I'll tell you what, man. Josh Neer is a guy. He's been to the pinnacle of the sport in the MMA world. He's fought the likes of the Diaz brothers, both of them. Not too many people can say that they fought both Nick and Nate Diaz. He's fought Spencer Fisher in what is arguably one of the best fights ever in the history of Victory Fighting Championship.
In the history of MMA.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody knows about that fight.
It was crazy.
The Spencer Fisher-Josh Neer fight for victory,
legendary, right?
It was the same as the Griffin Bonner fight for the first Ultimate Fighter series. It was. It put this show on the map. And these two have had great careers. We got full mount now by Josh Neer. About 2 minutes left. I'll be surprised if Neer isn't able to stop him here. Smith either needs to turn it on and try to force something to happen here, or he's just going to continue to take this beating. And Neer is just so composed from that top position. Oh, Anthony's trying to scramble out now. He gives up his back. We got full back control. He's flattening him out. He's on the neck. This fight's over. There we go.
And it is over. Josh Neer finishes Anthony Lionheart Smith with a rear naked choke.
Kind of a bizarre fight, but I'll tell you what, no surprise here. Anthony Smith, all the talent in the world. We will see this kid. We will hear from this kid. Josh Neer is just a veteran. He is just so composed. He will fight anyone in the world. And so he's out there just doing his very best. And we finish here, gets the back, classic rear naked choke, and a tap on the back.
Absolutely. After all of that, chokes him out, taps him on the back, and is like, hey, there you go. We'll be back with the official announcement of the decision right after this. VFC 41 continues next. Back here at the Ralston Arena in Omaha, Nebraska, Victory Fighting Championship 41. Our co-main event has ended. Anthony Smith and Josh Neer. Josh Neer with the victory. Mike Kendall with the official
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Dave Jobin, calls a stop to this fight at 3 minutes, 48 seconds into the second round for your winner. By tap out due to rear naked choke, Josh the Dentist Neer.
Josh Neer gets the rear naked choke victory over Anthony Smith in the third round. Mike Kendall with Josh Neer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Josh Neer. It's got to feel good to get back in the VFC cage again. Give us your thoughts on your fight with Anthony Smith one more time.
What about it?
Just give us your thoughts on the fight.
My thoughts on the fight, Anthony's a tough fighter. I knew he was going to try to keep me on the outside, and I knew I could draw him into a war, you know, because the dude don't like to go to decisions, and, you know, I brought the fight to him and made him fight my fight. I want to thank my stand-up coach, Ryan Clark, my wrestling coach, Jeff Garrison, everybody around Kick, and that's it. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make some noise for Josh the Dentist Neer.
Josh Neer, your victor here tonight, triumphant in his return to the victory cage, his first fight in the VFC since 2004, and he is victorious. We'll be back with our main event. Champion versus champion, LC Davis, Ryan Roberts, coming up next. This is VFC 41.